Hello everyone, it's Jeroogalo, and today we're going to do a breakdown and analysis of The Last Jedi trailer. I'll be giving my opinions on what I believe each part means, as well as my thoughts on what all is going on based on what I can extrapolate from the trailer. If you've got a differing opinion, please type a comment down below and we can discuss it. Let's get started.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. So this is Supreme Leader Snoke talking, so presumably right here he's referring to Kylo Ren, his apprentice. Now, we all know about trailer editing trickery, so it's not 100% guaranteed he's talking about Kylo here, but if he is, then it does suggest that Kylo truly does have great potential, which he should, because he's a Skywalker by blood.
And beyond that, something truly special.
This is the part which may suggest that Snoke here is referring to Rey. How when he says something truly special, it cuts from Kylo to Rey. This could just be editing, but we don't know much about Rey's origins, just that she was left on Jakku at an early age. Perhaps Snoke found her originally, and in his grand plan left her here on Jakku for some reason. Either way, cutting to Rey here is meant to reinforce the fact that Rey is quite special, which, since she is the main protagonist, is to be expected.
Something inside me has always been there, but now it's awake.
So, something that's inside her that's always been there. This is the Force. She may not have always known about it or that the Force even truly existed, but it's always been strong with her. Then I was awake. We can take that to be referring to the last movie, The Force Awakens. I always thought that was a strange title in the first place. After all, the Force doesn't sleep. It's within everything, connecting everything. In the words of Ben Kenobi, it surrounds us and penetrates us. It binds the galaxy together. So the Force wasn't sleeping, but Rey saying this brings a bit of clarity to that. The Force itself may not have been sleeping, but you could think of her connection to the Force as sleeping, or rather, her awareness of it and her life as a Force user. Less The Force awakens, more Rey awakens.
And I need help.
So presumably she asks Luke for help here, and in the midst of her training she does this crazy powerful thing where she cracks the stone where they're standing without even trying to. Like the Force is just overflowing out of her with such intensity that even when she's focusing on doing something else, she still can cause destructive power to her surroundings. Luke here looks quite surprised and amazed himself at such power, but perhaps there's a sense of familiarity in his gaze amongst the shock, which leads to this next part.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
So first off, I do want to take a moment to appreciate Mark Hamill's acting here. He definitely conveys that he wants no part of this. He is shook. The scene they added there where he's pulling himself up out of the rubble of his fallen Jedi Academy would suggest that the one who did this, which was Kylo, who he once trained as Ben Solo, also had this sort of raw strength, which, depending on who Snoke was talking about in the beginning of the trailer, can be thought of as a confirmation that Kylo truly does have great potential. And so he's not going to risk training someone else like that just to run the risk of losing everything again. It's not happening. If she had been a bit weaker, then sure, maybe it'd be time to come out and train someone again, but he's not making another Kylo Ren. Of course, we still don't know the details of the movie, and as with trailers, they could always be trying to lead us astray, but based on what we can go on from this, it seems like that's what the story is so far. But I do have one major problem with this. Luke is scared. And I know we have to set things up for the new generation of the Star Wars cast, but I really hope they don't sacrifice Luke to do this. After all, Luke is the son of the Chosen One. His father was conceived of the midichlorians themselves, so by extension Luke could potentially have a midichlorian count higher than most other Jedi himself, maybe second only to that of his father, and even so, Luke should probably still be more powerful than we ever saw Anakin to be. Anakin never got to achieve his full potential, as good as he was. Even as Vader, he no longer had any natural limbs, resulting in much lower midichlorian count, a lack of an ability to use Force lightning, in fact having a weakness to it built into his suit, and as I just mentioned, he was encased in a life support suit, which was poorly designed on purpose, which caused a number of problems. Vader was still amazingly powerful though, but Luke Skywalker had none of the setbacks Anakin did, so I believe he could achieve even higher. And of course, they very well may do that. I hope we do get to see Luke do some amazing things with the Force, as he's had 30 years to hone his skills. Aside from Snoke, he should be the undisputed most skilled and powerful Force user in the known galaxy, and I do hope we get to see that level of power. If you watched my video on what Luke meant when he said it's time for the Jedi to end, you'll know that I believe he's on Octo searching for the secrets of the original Jedi, so that he can restore the Order to what it's meant to be. Over the past 1,000 years, the Jedi may have altered in ways that were detrimental to the Order, and ultimately allowed it to fall in the first place. And as the last Jedi, Luke would search to rectify this, to leave as his legacy the return of the Jedi Order, the right way this time, as his first attempt was a failure. I still believe that that is his mission, though they continue to not give us clear indication of that, just more of him hiding out here. And it's fine if they don't give too many details, since it's just a trailer and we don't want the movie spoiled. But back to my earlier point, I really hope they don't sacrifice Luke's character in order to make Rey and Kylo seem powerful. Anakin was the chosen one, but Luke is the new hope. He has a mission, which thus far has not been completed. Hopefully he can do that before his character is gone. And again, I have no problem with them making the new characters very powerful, but I don't think Luke's day is over yet, and I'm a bit protective of him. I think the overall sequel trilogy should continue Star Wars from where it left off, not rebrand and initiate Star Wars again for a new generation of fans specifically. Just continue the story and market it as such. Star Wars is not new. Luke's story started over 40 years ago, and in my humble opinion, it should involve him heavily until the completion of his role. But I digress. And that was a long aside, but let's get back into the trailer, and if any of you would like to discuss this more, we can, and perhaps I can make another video on the topic.
Let the past die.
So Kylo says let the past die, and he takes his helmet and smashes it into the wall. Is he moving on to a new phase in his life? Has his obsession with Vader reduced a bit and he no longer feels the need to wear a mask?
Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
So Kylo says to kill the past if you have to. That's the only way to become what you're meant to be. And it shows Leia, his mother, and him struggling on shooting the ship he's locked onto. A couple of things here. First, he says kill it if you have to. I know Kylo's not a Sith, but as a dark side user, this is a bit strange. Normally they would advocate killing it, period. But Kylo seems to be recognizing that no, you don't always have to kill it. But if you need to, it's better to do so you can do what you're meant to. Which I suppose is what he did do to Han, and what they want us to believe he's about to do to Leia. But I don't think that's what's happening in this scene, or if it is, he's not going to go through with it. We've been promised a respectful departure for Leia, and being targeted from a ship by her son doesn't seem to fit that in my opinion. Plus, when was the last time you saw someone kill their own mother in a movie or show? Fathers, yes, all the time, but mothers? Rarely, if ever, and I doubt Star Wars would really do that. Plus, the light still calls to Kylo, and I don't think killing Han fixed that for him really, and he would have to be pretty committed to kill Leia. Even Anakin wouldn't have done something like that. But Kylo is a bit of a reverse Anakin anyway, which is a whole video topic in and of itself. Did Chewie get the Falcon?
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down.
Nice to see Finn up and about. I guess he's got some mission to infiltrate the First Order or something, but it looks like we'll get to see a nice battle between him and Captain Phasma. How she survived and was able to get off Starkiller Base in time before it was destroyed is pretty interesting also.
Come on! This is not going to go the way you think.
So Luke saying this I maybe could chalk up to his continued reluctance to train Rey or be involved in things anymore. I don't know if that's what it's meant to be, but there's not much to go on here. Some have suggested that line is also a bit of a nod to us fans trying to figure out how things will go, and he's telling us it's not going to go the way we think. So we'll see. So Luke standing here in the fog reminds me a lot of Luke on Dagobah when he went into that one area and encountered the vision of Darth Vader, but it was really himself behind the mask. That was a Jedi trial for Luke on his path to become a Jedi, so maybe this scene right here is one of Rey's trials to become a Jedi as well. So that's something for the Rey will be trained by Luke side.
Fulfill your destiny.
So Snoke says, "Fulfill your destiny," which is a phrase Emperor Palpatine is famous for saying. I'm not going to say Snoke is Palpatine or anything like that, but it's interesting that they would use the same phrase like that. And look at the color of his clothing right here. Is that Snoke maybe standing in front of Rey? I don't know, the similar coloring of the two objects, Snoke's clothes and whatever that is right there. It could be him standing there and holding her with the Force and torturing her. I've heard rumors that he wants to drain her Force power. I've been trying to stay away from spoilery sources, so I don't know about that, but it's interesting.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
So earlier when it was a scene in the trailer with her and Luke, she said she needed help learning the ways of the Force. The trailer seems to be suggesting that Luke rejects her after finding out how much raw power she has, and since he's afraid of what she could become, he doesn't train her. So now she's running to Kylo, who killed her new friend Han, his own father, and kidnapped her the last movie, to learn the ways of the Force, since he's the only other Force user she knows. I don't really buy that. Doesn't really seem like something they would actually make happen in the movie. I don't think they would make the protagonist join the dark side, certainly not in the second movie of the trilogy, but it does make for good trailer bait. Something that will get us talking for a while. Also, the background for Rey and Kylo, they don't really seem to be the same here. I also had another thought. Kylo said last movie that he would finish what you started, while looking at the Vader mask. So I presume he's saying he will finish what Vader started. Will Rey then finish what his son Luke started? Or what Jedi Anakin started? Are Rey and Kylo two interconnected characters, both attempting to fulfill the destinies of the past generation, taking their missions on for themselves? Is Rey the new Hope? The newer Hope? Is she the new chosen one to bring balance to the Force again? Unless it is balanced. Snoke and Luke, Rey and Kylo, First Order, New Republic. Maybe it is balanced already. But still, perhaps she does have some big destiny connected to Luke that we have yet to discover, beyond just being trained as a Jedi. Maybe if Luke can't get it all done, he'll leave some of it to her. If the Jedi Order is to survive in some capacity, it will need a master after he's gone. Maybe it's Rey. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. Thank you all for watching. If there's anything else you'd like to discuss, please comment down below and share this video with your friends. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and consider subscribing. I really appreciate it. If you have any other ideas for videos, please feel free to let me know in the comment section, as well as your opinion on my take of this trailer. If you agreed or disagreed with what I said, let me know. I'm interested in what you guys think. I'll see you guys next time. This has been Jeroogalo. Thanks for watching.